Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jayo Radha Ras Bihari Radha, Ras Bihari Radhe. Jayo Radha Giridhari Radha, Giridhari Radhe. Jayo Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. बोलो हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I welcome you all for this today evening Bhagavad Gita class. We will be discussing chapter number 9, verse number 16 and 17. First, I'll say it one time, and then you can repeat after me. Sorry, I couldn't able to prepare presentation. But let me know if you are able to see. This much size is okay, right? Jil Mataji, Gita Mata.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
we
read.
can
As much
say
as.
that.
Aham kraturaham yajna,
Aham praturaham
Aham
yajna.
yagna
swadaham aham aushadam,
swadaham aham aushadam
mantroham aham evajyam,
mantroham aham
aham
evajyam
aham agniraham hutam.
aham
aham
agniraham
agniraham
hutam.
hutam.
We will repeat 2 more times, and then somebody else can say, and then I can repeat after them. Aham kraturaham yajna,
Aham kratur aham yagna
swadaham aham aushadam,
swadaham
Swadaham
aham
aham aushadam.
aushadam
mantroham aham evajyam,
Mantroham
mantroham
aham
aham
evajyam.
evayam
aham agniraham hutam,
Aham
aham agnir
agniraham
aham
hutam.
hutam
aham kraturaham yajna,
aham kratur
aham
aham
yajnaha.
yagna
swadaham aham aushadam,
swadaham
Swadaham
aham
aham
aushadam
aushadam.
mantroham aham evajyam,
Mantroham
mantroham
aham
aham
evajyam.
evajam
aham agniraham hutam.
Aham
aham
agniraham
agniraham
hutam.
hutam.
Thank you. So anybody would like to repeat this verse?
Aham
Aham.
Kratu. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
No,
Sujata.
no. Gita Mala, please go ahead.
Aham kratur aham yajnaha.
Aham
Aham
kratur
Kratu.
aham
Aham
yajna.
Yagna.
Swadaham aham aushadam.
Shwadham
Swadaham aham
Aham
aushadam.
Aushadam.
Mantroham ahame vajyam.
Mantroham
Mantroham Aham
vajyam.
Evajyam.
Aham agnir aham hutam.
Aham
Aham Agnir
agniraham
Aham
hutam.
Hutam.
Yes,
Aham,
Sujata Mataji.
yeah. Aham Kratu Aham Yagna.
Aham
Aham
kratur
kratur
aham
aham
yajna.
yajnaha.
Shwadham Aham Aushadham.
Swadaham
Swadaham aham
aham
aushadam.
aushadam.
Mantroham Aham Evagyam.
Mantroham
Mantroham
ahame
ahame
vajyam.
Aham Agni Aham Hutam.
Aham
Aham
agnir
agnir
aham
aham hutam.
hutam.
Jill Mataji, you want to go? You want to try?
No, thanks. It's okay. My
Okay.
son and I were talking.
Okay. So synonyms: aham, I;
Aham
Aham
I.
I.
kratur, Vedic ritual;
Kratu Vedic
Kratu Vedic
ritual.
ritual.
aham,
Aham
I;
I.
yajna,
Yagna.
Yajnaha.
smriti, sacrifice;
Smriti
Smriti
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
swadha,
Swadha
Swadhva
oblation.
oblation;
oblation.
aham,
Aham.
Aham
I;
I.
I.
aham, I;
Aham
Aham
I.
I.
aushadham,
Aushadam.
Aushadam.
healing herb;
Healing
Healing
herb.
herb.
mantra,
Mantra.
Mantra.
transcendental chant;
Transcendental
Transcendental
chant.
chant.
aham,
Aham
Aham.
I;
I.
aham,
Aham
Aham.
I;
I.
I.
eva,
Eva.
Eva.
certainly;
Certainly.
Certainly.
aya, ajyam, ajyam,
Aj.
Ajyam.
Ajyam.
yeah, ajyam,
Ajyam.
Ajyam.
melted butter;
Melted
Melted butter.
butter.
aham,
Aham
Aham.
I;
I.
I.
agni,
Agni.
Agni.
fire;
Fire.
Fire.
aham,
Aham
Aham.
I;
I.
I.
hutam,
Hutam.
Uttam.
offering.
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 Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Purport: the Vedic sacrifice known as Jyoti Stoma is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagna mentioned in the Smriti. The oblations offered to the Pitraloka or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitraloka, considered as kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifice are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the five material elements and is therefore claimed as the separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda divisions of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or in other words, those who are engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all sacrifices recommended in Vedas. So, um, so I was reading this book in one of the Gita Subodhini book. It's very beautifully explained, these words. So here anyways the meaning is given, but like for few more details have been added. Kratu, it means rituals mentioned, Vedic rituals mentioned in the Shruti scriptures. Yagna means sacrifices mentioned in Smriti scripture. Swadha, 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 Swadha means oblations, offerings to the ancestor. Aushadham, the herb, the healing herb. Mantraha, transcendental chant. Ajyam, the ghee, melted butter. Agni, fire. Hutam, the act of offering. So here, if we see, the purport says that, but it is I means Krishna, I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, I the offering to the ancestors, the herbal healing, the transcendental chant, I am the butter, and the fire and the offering. Fire is considered very pure. So everything, in the later verses we will see more things coming up. Uh, so here, in the purport, Prabhupada has mentioned Stoma. Jyotish Stoma means it means the sacrifice which is done for sacrifice done by human to go to heaven. So this is one type of sacrifice which is done to elevate to heavenly planets. So that is the ritual it is. But that ritual itself, once when a person is promoting one person, a person who wants to get promoted to heavenly planet, that path itself is Krishna. Jyotish Stoma is also Krishna. So he is Mahayagna Smriti. um, so we are coming across few words, Smriti and Shruti, Jyotish Soma, Mahayagna, sacrifice, and one word is written, the oblations offered to the Pitraloka. So Sujata, most of us in many rituals, it is mentioned that when a person passes away, then the son or the family member, they perform a ritual, and in that ritual they are offering to their ancestor. So that offering itself is also Krishna. So directly directly or indirectly, I don't know whether it is there in American culture. Jill Mataji, you can add few more insights on that. But in Vedic tradition or many of the Indian rituals, Sanatanis, they will mostly follow these rituals. So especially for grahasthas, grahasthas, for them it is advised, or it is recommended for them to do these offerings to their ancestors. So that is one of the rituals mentioned for grahasthas especially. But those who are sannyasis, or for them, they are not bounded by any of these rituals. So this is one way of understanding Krishna, that that whatever indirect way of I mean, in further verses it will be more clear. So any worship which you are doing it indirectly, it is done by the less intelligent person. But an advanced uh, devotee is one whose understanding is clear about Krishna. He knows that everything, whatever a person is doing, like why to why to meet us? Why to meet a clerical or an executive in the organization where you can meet the chairman of the company. You have that privilege of directly connecting with the chairman. Why, why to take that indirect route? So in the further verses it will be more clear, but direct worship of Krishna, that is what the sum and substance of this verse is. And we will see few more clarifications, few more like what is Shruti, what is Smriti. I have one. What does Shruti means? Shruti means the the word, the literature which are coming directly from Krishna. And Smriti means the words are not changed in Shruti, whereas Smriti, it is like the sages who have written these Smritis. And we will see, like here, Shruti revealed absolute truth. Every word is unchanged, which is spoken by Lord himself. Smriti composed by sages. Words may change from age to age. Vedas like Yajur, Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharved, each of these four Vedas, further, basically Vedas are none other than Shruti. So when we are telling here Shruti or Smriti, Mahayagnyas, so here when we say Vedic rituals, Krato, so Krato is mentioned. So Krato, whatever rituals are mentioned in the Vedas, in Shruti, whatever rituals are mentioned in Shrutis, Shruti is nothing but Vedas, all the Vedas. So Vedas are nothing but directly spoken by the Lord himself. So any ritual, Vedic rituals which is done as per the Vedas, that itself is Krishna. So there are many scriptures like known as Jyotish Toma. So Jyotistoma is one of the rituals wherein it is performed to promote to heaven, to go to heavenly planet. So that itself is Krishna. So why you want to go to heavenly planet when you can directly reach to the supreme Lord, the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is the word Shruti and Smriti. Smriti means rituals. As we discussed, Smriti means composed by sages. Words may change by age to age. Ritual sutras. I mean, these are some of the sutras, tantras, panchatantras, Puranas, itihasas. They are coming under Smriti. And like one question. So whether we can call Bhagavad Gita as Shruti or Smriti? Anyone would like to comment on this? Whether Bhagavad Gita, we can call it as, whether it will come under Shruti or Smriti. Bhagavad Gita, as it is spoken by Lord himself, it is Shruti. But as Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is Smriti. Smriti, it is also called as Smriti also. But it is Shruti, Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it is directly spoken by Lord. So if there is any arguments or whether Bhagavad Gita is Shruti or Smriti, some of anyone would like to say something? So if there is any argument in this, whether Bhagavad Gita is Shruti or Smriti, so those can be answered in this way. So that is what Bhagavad Gita. I wanted to add about Shruti and Smriti. And now we will go on to the next verse. Bhagavad Gita 9.17. Pitahammasya jagato
Pitahammasya jagato
mata dhata pitamaha
Mata
Mata
Dhata
Dhata
Pitamaha
Pitamaha
vedyam pavitram omkara
Vidyam
Vedyam
Pavitram
Pavitram
Omkara
Omkara
rik samaya jurevacha
Rikshamajaju
Yatsamaya
Evacha
pitahammasya jagato
Pitaham Asya
Pitahammasya
Jagato
Jagato
mata dhata pitamaha
Mata
Mata
Dhata
Dhata
Pitamaha
Pitamaha
vedyam pavitram omkara
Vedam
Vidyam
Pavitram
Pavitram
Omkara
Omkara
rik samaya jurevacha
Rikshamayajur
Riksamayajurvacha
Evacha
pitahammasya jagato
Pitaham Asya
Pitahammasya Jagato
Jagato
mata dhata pitamaha
Mata
Mata
Dhata
Dhata
Pitamaha
Pitamaha
vedyam pavitram omkara
Vedyam
Vidyam Pavitram
Pavitram
Omkara
Omkara
rik samaya jurevacha.
Rikshamayajur
Yatsamayajurvacha
Evacha
Anybody would like to repeat?
Pitahammasya Jagato
Pitaham
Pitahammasya
Asya
jagato
Jagato
Mata Dhata Pitamaha
Mata
mata
Dhata
dhata
Pitamaha
pitamaha
Vedyam Pavitram Omkara
vedyam
Vidyam
pavitram
Pavitram Omkara
omkara
Raksamayajurvacha
riksamaya
Rikshamayajur
jurevacha
Evacha Pitaham Asya Jagato
pitahammasya
Pitahammasya
jagato
Jagato
Mata Dhata Pitamaha
Mata
mata dhata
Dhata Pitamaha
pitamaha
Vidyam Pavitram Omkara
vedyam
Vedyam
pavitram
Pavitram Omkara
omkara
Rikshamajaju Evacha
riksamaya jurevacha. Synonyms: Pita, father;
Pita Father
Aham, I;
Aham I
Asya, of this;
Asya of
Asya
this
Apte
Jagataha, universe;
Jagata
Jagata
universe
Mata, mother;
Mata
Mata
Mother
Dhata, supporter;
Dhata
Dhata
Supporter
Supporter
Pitamaha, grandfather;
Pitamaha
Pitamaha
Grandfather
Vedyam, what is to be
Vedyam
known;
Vidyam what is to be known
Pavitram, that which purifies;
Pavitram that which purifies
Omkara, the syllable Om;
Omkara the syllable Om
Rik, the Rig Veda;
Rik the Rig Veda
Sama, the Sama Veda;
the Sama Veda
Yaju, the Yajurveda;
Yaju the Yajur Veda
Eva, certainly;
Eva certainly
Cha, and.
Cha and
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also Rig, the Sama, and the Yajurvedas. Purport: the entire cosmic manifestation, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcel of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc., are nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhata means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcel of Krishna, but the creator, grandfather, and grandmother and grandfather, etc., are also Krishna. Actually, all living entity being part and parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas therefore aim only toward Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step towards understanding Krishna. That subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is especially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all Vedic principle is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all Vedic mantra, the word Om, called Pranava, is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of the four Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Rig, and Athar Veda, the Pranava or Omkara is very prominent. It is understood to be Krishna. Haribol. So, we will take one example here. So, like parents, father, mother, grandfather. So when we take the example of father and mother, so for a child, mother showers so much of love, and even like father, but mother's love is uncomparable. So she keeps a child in her womb. She takes so much, she goes through so much of labor pain, and then a child is born. So that whole pain itself is so traumatic, but still that pain a mother bears, just to, I mean, she is not paid to do that, but out of her causeless love towards the child, uh, a child, that a baby is born, or a life is given to a baby, so through a mother. So that much great a mother is. So that love, even, like that love is none other than, that mother is also Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. And the love that one is receiving from that mother, that is like a glimpse of pure love, that a person can relish uh, once he has, like when a person is getting that extreme love from the part and parcel of Krishna, so how much love one can get from Krishna himself. So if we start thinking in that way, our whole perspective towards life will change. You know, so that way Krishna is telling here everything which is originating, like he is the father of this universe. In previous verses we have already seen how the comparison was made, and how how Krishna was established as the supreme, as he is one of the as he is the originator of everything. So here also, I am the father of this universe, I am the mother. The mother means not only life-giving mother, but also that love, that also we should understand from a devotional, as we are all following the bhakti yoga principle, that causeless love which a mother gives, no other relation a person can get that love, for between child and the mother. So that itself, there is one small one small story. I will not go in detail, but there is Shravan Kumar's story. So this boy who was born, um, who was born, and then his father, as soon as his parents saw him, they became blind, and it was during the Ram Rajya, when Lord Ram was there. During that time only, in Ayodhya only, this man was there, Shravan Kumar, great personality. So and then later on, when he comes to know that his parents have become blind because they wanted to just see the glimpse of his of this child Shravan Kumar, that's why they just accepted they accepted the blind, to become blind also. So when he came to know the solution, that he needs to do, visit holy pilgrimage. He needs to do a pilgrimage and visit holy dhams, and then put the water, holy water, in their eyes. This Shravan Kumar, he decides to. I'll show a picture of Shravan Kumar, those who have not seen such. So this is how Shravan Kumar is there. So and so what he did is, Shravan Kumar, he used this, I don't know what it is called. Gita Mala Mataji, what can we call this?
It's like
Uh,
scale.
asking about?
this one, this whole, I mean, where Shravan Kumar used the two, like a weighing scale, how it is, this part,
Yeah, it is a weighing scale.
weighing, like that way he made it, and he put one in one of the, on one side he put his father, and other side his mother, and he used that wooden stick. By keeping, he became a vehicle of his parents, and by this way he visited all the holy dhams. All the holy dhams he visited, and he did that. He did that service to just give the eyesight back to their parents. So that much, that is the benchmark of a love, can a son, you know any son can express. That is like a top most, that is a benchmark. No one can, no ordinary person can reach that benchmark. So I mean, if you see here, the mother's love, she became blind to parents, both the parents, she became blind to just see the glimpse of for this son. And later on, when son is and in his youth time, so he decided to take to use this medium, uh, to to carry their parents, both of their parents, and do the visit of holy dhams. So now, that's why in in Sanatan Dharma, it is considered that to take a pilgrimage to their parents, to if you want to take pilgrimage to their parents, it is very one of the duties of the son, or of a child. It is the duty to take their parents for a pilgrimage and visit holy dhams. But nowadays, after having so much facilities, that much that much that much excitement is not there. But this Shravan Kumar person, he took on his shoulder, he carried both of their parents, father and mother, old father and mother, on his shoulder in his youth time, and did all the parikrama. So the bottom line, what I wanted to highlight here is, it's not just the uh, because mother is giving birth, that's why she is great. No, it's not only that. The love, extreme, the causeless love that we are receiving from that mother, that we need to understand and then compare it with Krishna. Because she is just part and parcel of Krishna. She is giving me that much love. How much love can can one can receive from like a supreme mother or supreme father, Lord Krishna. So that's what I wanted to bring it to your notice. But rest everything, like directly or indirectly, one is worshiping Krishna. But why to go to the executive lower, the uh, the staff, when you can directly meet chairman. So it is like that way. So very wonderfully, both these verses are describing about Krishna's potency. So, and the various elements like, Shruti, Smriti, whatever you do, it's ultimately to understand Krishna only. It is Krishna himself. So, I would like to stop here, and then maybe if you have any comment, questions, we can take that.
This kind of Matra Bhakti is gone now.
Yeah, I know.
Instead
I
of
can,
carrying the parent to pilgrimage,
I
even if the
know.
parents are taking you to pilgrimage.
Yeah,
you
I
can
know.
ask them.
Actually, you won't believe, Geeta Mala Mataji, I got this verse today. I mean, with one of my colleague, we were discussing that only. Nowadays, once child grows up, they, like they get their job and they leave their parents, and there is hardly any connection between
Yeah,
them.
and
They
even
don't.
if the parents come to visit too many times, it's too much.
It's yeah, I know.
Why are you
Like,
coming?
why are you coming? We were discussing on this note only, and then today I got this verse. But I was just comparing, like for us, for any son, any son, or if he wants to really follow, like this is the benchmark. One person, even like we have mothers, great mothers, but like for a son or for a child, you know this is the benchmark. I used to tell my wife, if my kids does this, I am going to die. I'll not live early. At least some respect,
We
it's,
don't want this much dedication.
yeah,
No,
no.
just some acknowledgement is enough.
Little bit, yeah, I know. Like I know sometimes it is. And another thing, Geeta Mala Mataji, Sujata Mataji, Jil Mataji. So one thing what I have personally experienced, even like for the mother, no matter, like if the whole, like your friends or relatives, who no matter how much they give their love, but the son or the daughter, when they just do little bit of thing, at least just the call, like if they are in US and parents are in India, if they just give a call to the parents, and parents become so much happy, and they will go and tell, like all. And
Exactly.
if you just give one gift, like one sari, if you just give, and then like whole like all the neighborhood will know that his son is given one sari, like that way. So I mean, I don't know how it is, Geeta Mala Mataji. I hope, I don't know how my kids will grow. that would be something. But I know things are changing. I told this, Geeta Mala Mataji, you will laugh now. I've told this story to my daughters at least 50 times.
Yeah, the only thing you want to do is really make sure they have that they do keep in touch, no matter what. They want to be their independence, but they want to keep in touch. I know it's but we're fighting with here. Both
Yeah,
people to be independent, but yet still live at
yeah,
home. So
correct.
we can understand that.
Yeah, little bit, like one of my colleague was there, uh, and then his parent, I think his mom or dad was ill, and they were hospitalized, and then he was working, and then I mean, the way the connection between him and like the child and the mother was a doctor called him and he just gave his approval, like whether he needs to do the surgery or not. He said yes, that's it, like they did something like that was done. I said, you will not go there to check your mother, like in my family it is like not only me, like once I was hospitalized, my uncle, like at least 20 people came to visit me to the hospital. But it's a little bit extreme, but what I wanted to tell is we have become like very dry and barren land. Our love has become like that, like there is no that what you call the juice has gone out. It's only like now the dry land it has. There is
At
no
least now
fertile.
it's not so bad. I think Srila Prabhupada said as Kali Yuga progresses, you
I
know, yeah,
no
a long life is a curse, he said.
curse. Seriously, I mean, what I mean, now only this is only so much painful. I can't even imagine how much painful it will be in future.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the kids were considered as asset. I was just we were discussing this part only, Geeta Mala Mataji. The kids earlier they were considered as assets for the family. You know now
Right.
kids are like liability. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I mean, the actually, according to the Shastras, children, women, and old people were protected, like Yudhishthira's
Yeah,
kingdom, in Yudhishthira's kingdom, they were
yeah,
giving full protection. But now, instead of the weaker people in society are going to be neglected as Kali Yuga
yeah,
progresses.
yeah. Like my first time I went outside India to Belgium, like 10 years back. So that time I just first time it was like out of country, and I was visiting. So there was something discussion going on, like social security and all that for older people, like government gives. And then like he was asking me, what about in India? So I said, we don't have any social security. It's like parents are there, it is the duty of the son, or like any child to take care of them. So why do you need social security for that? So I mean, so I don't know like what is right, but that is how things are changing as Kali Yuga progress. Things will certainly degrade, and you know but I would say that at least we should hear these stories. Maybe like our kids may not be able to follow, but at least like they should have something, little bit of thing left. Okay, thank you very much, and I request everyone of your prayers and blessings to me and my family member so that we can also worship nicely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice points.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
namo.
Anantakoti
Prabhu
Vaishnava
Vrinda
Shriman
ki
Ki Jai.
jai,
Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Ki
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 jai,
Jai.
jai.
Sundar
Hare Krishna,
Gopinath Prabhu Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
everyone.
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.